So well, if I was mayor, some of the top changes I would implement are, well, first is definitely to stop the expansion of Orleans Parish Prison and to really look at investing in our future and our young people. So that means we really need to start with fixing the education system, right? And it's not just the education system. So I think education is just one thing, but young people spend, you know, say like 8 hours a day, right, in school, but then still have to go home to a community. So if the communities are still broken, then we're only fixing one piece of the puzzle. So I think one of the things is it's really difficult to answer that question because I think, you know, there's so many factors that are at play with the livelihoods and the standard of living of people in New Orleans. But I think definitely is to look at a different way of how we deal with this idea of justice in New Orleans, especially when a vast majority of folks who are incarcerated are African American. We still have the only, you know, functioning plantation in the world to imprison, you know, black folks. So that's the first change I would do. And then the second is to look at how we can restructure our education system. And third is there a more sustainable, community-driven way of doing community development that doesn't displace current residents, for example, that respects, you know, the long legacy of New Orleans of home ownership and passing down home ownership that's quickly changing with gentrification, for example. So how do we stop, you know, examples such as the gentrification of the Marigny Bywater and now the Lower Ninth Ward? And how do we continue to engage those communities in developing their neighborhoods, and where development doesn't become a bad term of development means you can be out of a home in 5 years because you can't afford to live here, you know? So